We now know what it seems like the Orlando Magic were looking to offer for Coby White. And did AK miss another opportunity to take a great deal? Also, I'm going to tell you the number one player in the draft the Chicago Bulls should be looking at, and I'm going to be a little sad if they don't end up drafting him. All that and more in today's Chicago Bulls Breeze. Let's go. If you are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the page. Do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Bulls, how Bulls fans talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Appreciate you guys for showing love. As always, make sure that you are hitting that sub button and hitting that notification bell, because that will tell you every single time that we drop with news like this, where, listen, you get with the Coby White conversation has been massive this offseason. Are we trading Coby? Are we not trading Coby? Is Coby somebody we want to trade? Is Coby somebody we want to move on from? What is going on with Coby White? We heard the Orlando Magic were somebody who was very, very interested in a Coby White addition to the team. And now seems we know what the rumored trade package was for the Chicago Bulls. And the package that AK did not take, seems like what the reported trade was Coby White to the Orlando Magic for Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, 2 first-round picks, and 1 protected first-round pick. Let that marinate in there. I understand the conversation around the 2 players, right? Cole Anthony is not somebody who I want for the future of this team. Jonathan Isaac is not somebody who I want for the future of this team. But an opportunity to build the future, in my mind, was what the Chicago Bulls just passed on. Now, I get it. Cole Anthony was a little bit healthier last season, played less minutes last season, though. But over the last couple of seasons, he's been fairly healthy, right? 81 games 2 years ago, 67 games last year. But the points per game end up going the other direction. Really didn't step up a ton in those moments where you kind of were looking for him to be that guy versus or when Paolo Banchero was out. Also really gave you nothing, and you basically was unplayable in the Celtics series. He got some run there kind of in the last couple of games, and it just wasn't very good. So he's not a player that I'm looking to have on my team. Jonathan Isaac is a phenomenal talent, but is an injury concern. But who cares about those two? Another deal on the table. And this is a deal that would have given you, if you had taken the Lonzo Ball deal, which was the first-round pick for Memphis that ended up being the 18th overall pick, whatever pick this was, which I believe this would have been the 16th overall pick for the Chicago Bulls to move on and go get Coby White. Sorry, I got so choked up there. You could have had 3 picks in this year's draft, in a draft which reported that you would like to trade up for Ace Bailey. Could have had 3 first-round picks in this year's draft if you just didn't go out there and sit on your hands. It seems like AK is a big fan of giving himself the stranger, and I have a problem with that. Listen, I love Coby White. I don't want to trade Coby White. I don't think Cole Anthony is apples to apples for Coby White. I don't think Jonathan Isaac is fair value for Coby White, but you are never going to have higher value on Coby White than right now. And you do have to ask yourself the question, if Coby White is a main focal point on this team, where's this team really going? I've talked about this a couple of times on the channel. I think Coby White's phenomenal, but in some of those big games and some of those big moments, Coby White doesn't show up. Everybody points to the Atlanta play-in game where he dominated. I point to the 2 games after that where you actually could have made the playoffs, where Coby White disappeared continually in both years that you made the play-in, where he was heavily relied on. Those are things that you have to take into account. Listen, again, you're not going to have a better opportunity to go out and get somebody else outside of Coby White than what you just had. And it seems like if this deal was in place, that AK either waited too long and they ended up going a different direction for the Orlando Magic, or because we know they end up with Desmond Bane at the end of this, right? Or you ended up turning this deal down because, yet again, this deal wasn't good enough, even though based on your words, you want to stay competitive while building through the draft. Well, guess what? You still got Modest Buzelis. You still got Nikola Vucevic. You still got Josh Giddey. You're going to add pieces, of course, a couple pieces there. Maybe a re-sign Trey Jones. You have pieces on your team to keep you competitive, whatever that is, playing worthy competitiveness. And you could have added pieces in the draft to this team, a draft that has a multitude of pieces that look like they are going to at least be really good role players in the league. And again, we're going to talk about one piece here that I am very, very high on, but I do want to know you guys' thoughts in the comments below. Is this a miss by AK? I didn't throw my lower third up there, but is this a miss by AK? Did he miss yet again on this deal? It seems to me like, listen, again, I love Coby. I think that Coby's great. I enjoy having him as a Chicago Bull. I think he's a great representative of what this city is and what this and the type of player that can develop here. But Coby's inconsistent. We haven't seen a full season of Coby being this level of player yet. Last year, it was the first half of the season. Phenomenal player. Second half of the season, a little banged up, but completely fell off of a cliff play-wise. This year, first half of the season, a little bit up and down, trying to get used to playing with Josh Giddey, Zach LaVine out there. Took some time, finally got it going. Second half of the season, Coby White's absolutely killing it. Like, you're getting halves of seasons. This time, you got the second half of the season where he was player of the month, where he was one of the best scorers in the NBA, where he was consistently putting up 30-point games, right? And some people may look at that and say, oh, there's the answer. I look at that and say, this is the opportunity for you to go out there and draft the answer. At a certain point, you have to shift. I said shift for the Breeze fans. They're SHIFT. You have to shift where your focal point is going to be around this team. We are now in year 7 of Coby White. Guess who's probably not going to be the main focus moving forward on this team? Coby White. So if that is the case, there are deals that have been in place, and this is another example of AK yet again missing the opportunity to make good on the words that he has spoken, talking about building in the draft. The Zach LaVine package that was offered from the Knicks with multiple first-round picks, multiple first-round picks offered for Alex Caruso, multiple first-round picks offered for DeMar DeRozan, multiple first-round picks offered for Coby White. How many first-round picks are you going to pass on? Do you see how the Boston Celtics built their team? Do you see how the Oklahoma City Thunder is building their team? Do you see how the Indiana Pacers are building their team? Even if the picks don't turn into people you draft, you can then use those picks to go out and trade for players. So please, AK, tell me, how is this following the plan? To me, this is just another conversation that we're going to continue to have here of missed opportunity. Now, could it all be proven right? Yeah. If Modest is very talented, which I think he is, and he continues to improve, which I think he will, I think you're going to be fine heading into next season, and you're going to have some hope with some youth on this team, also with whoever you end up adding this season. You also still have the opportunity to add a really, really good player this season. I'm going to talk about him here in a second, but like, to me, this is a conversation right now that the concern I have around where this team is at, the concern that I have about where the direction this team is going is you keep trying to pick a direction, but only halfway. We're kind of going to build through the draft, but also we're going to focus over here and get young players that are talented, that are already in the league. But we're only kind of going to do that because when we had an opportunity to get some young players that have been talented in the league, we don't want those players because those players are, you know, maybe not exactly what we're looking for. But on the flip side of that, we also don't want the draft capital because that's not really what we're looking for. What are you looking for? Yet again, Bulls fans in another offseason, incredibly confused at everything that AK has done. Let me know again how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be talking with you guys as well. I want to keep this thing moving along here because I want to talk about the guy who I believe the Chicago Bulls need to be taking a serious look at. I look at this young man as a perfect fit for the Bulls. He's a two-way wing that the Bulls have been searching for. He's a 3-and-D player. His IQ is absolutely through the roof. He doesn't need the basketball in his hands to be an effective player, and I think that he could develop into a long-term piece next to Josh Giddey, next to Modest Buzelis, the perfect piece if you were going to end up moving on from Coby White. But even with Coby White on the team, I think he fits in perfectly there as well and brings you some of that defensive versatility. If you guys have watched me on Locked On Bulls. You know who I'm talking about here. I've been high on this young man from the beginning. Cedric Coward is him. And I don't think there's any way that you can allow yourself to miss on this opportunity to go draft this young man. I know some of the knocks on his game, right? I know that, when you look at the fact that last season he only ended up playing in 6 games due to injury, that there's a small sample size versus tough competition. He played at Washington State, right? That means that he wasn't playing against the best of the best every night. And it may be a little bit of time where he has to adjust to the NBA's pace and the NBA's physicality. But I'm telling you right now, if you're looking for your next Jimmy Butler with maybe a little bit better attitude, now depending on where you're at, 10 years to the NBA, but I feel like that guy who's just willing to come in, earn his spot and work. If you're looking for, and I think this young man can be, I'm this high on him. Right, this may bite me in the butt. This may come off as hot take culture, but when you watch this kid, this is how you feel. When you listen to him talk, this is how it feels. This young man, to me, could be the Anthony Edwards of this draft. I think he could be one of the best players taken in this draft. I think this would be a steal of a player if he does end up falling to you at 12. And based on recent workouts that the Bulls just did with Cedric Coward, and kind of how these mock drafts have gone, it does seem like he may be available for you at 12 or close to 12. Now, in college, he averaged 17.7 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3.7 assists on 55% shooting from the field, 40% shooting from 3, and 83% from the free throw line. His catch and shoot is one of the most beautiful strokes in college basketball right now. He's got some great court vision. I know the assist numbers are low, but as he's moving, he can take the ball off of the glass and set his team up if he needs to. I think he's a monster floor spacer. If you're talking about wanting to replace somebody like Zach LaVine, who is very good at spacing the floor for you, I think that this is an answer at that as well. When you take the size into consideration, right? You're talking to him about 6'6", almost 6'7", but he's got a 7'2" wingspan that he uses phenomenally on defense. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the player that AK has been looking for. This is what you hoped Patrick Williams was going to have the talent to turn into. And this is actually the guy who's the unknown guy. He's a little bit more known now because of the draft workouts and people talking about him and different things like that. But he is literally the unknown guy at the unknown school that AK always wants to go get. This is the year I need you to be AK. This is the year I need you to be looking at the dude that nobody else is looking at and say, I see D1 potential. I see NBA potential. I see superstar potential. That's who Cedric Coward is going to be. Defensively, for a wing, he was over a block and a half a game last year. He does a great job defensively, disrupting passing lanes. He does a great job contesting shots. He's switchable 2 through 4. Even if he gets on a big man at this level, if you switch him on to Chet Holmgren, he's going to be a problem for Chet Holmgren. I think that he could relieve a ton of the pressure off of Ayo Dosunmu, and I guess if Patrick Williams returns to form, Patrick Williams defensively, like this is the kind of player that you need to bring in if you are the Chicago Bulls. I think this is your best bet to go out there and have a chance to get somebody who has a really high floor that also has a extremely high ceiling. I also love Thomas Sorber in this draft. I love Danny Wolf in this draft, but I think the floor on Sorber, very high, the ceiling, a little bit lower. He's kind of who he's going to be coming out of college. Danny Wolf, to me, I think that he has the floor a little bit lower there, but the ceiling is very high for Danny Wolf. But that floor, a lot lower than where you would think it should be. To me, this is the guy who has the high floor, has the high ceiling, shows you everything that you need to see from a two-way perspective, from an offensive perspective, from a three-point shooting perspective, from a finishing around the rim perspective, from an IQ perspective. This is the best player to me in this draft, not named Cooper Flagg. And I don't even think that it is close, if we're being honest. Maybe I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. Maybe this will come back to bite me 10 years down the road. But I want you to listen to this young man talk, and you tell me how you feel about him after you're done. Go listen to his interviews. Go listen to his pre-draft stuff and some of the podcasts that he's been on and how he talks about his game and what he does and doesn't do on the court. This is a young man that brings confidence to the floor, brings ability to the floor, and to me, he's the easy pick if you're the Chicago Bulls right now. I think he fits in perfectly. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all see how hype I get over Cedric Coward, bro? Like that's my pick. That's my pick. And I think this man gonna be a dog at the NBA level. Y'all let me know how you guys feel, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. See Red Nation, stand up. Let's hope we get this right. Peace.